Alright you guys, today we are putting 50mm suspension on my RC crawler, and then later in this video we're also going to be testing it on my RC crawler course. So, let's get into the video. Here we go. Alright, so right here we have our 50mm shocks. Now these are going to be a lot bigger than my other ones. Let's get to putting them on my Axial SCX24 Gladiator, and here we go. Alright, so the first thing we need to do here is take off the wheels just to make it easier to get into the insides of the RC crawler so that we can take those 48mm shocks off. Alright, now the next thing we have to do here is take off the suspension that we were using before. There we go. Alright, she's in. Alright, and then you can see the clear indication of just a different size. So it is a little bit of a difference, but it's also going to add for a lot more articulation with the wheels. That's all good there. Yep. And just a lot more flex. Sweet. You got the first one in. Alright, twist it on and we're done. Now that we are done putting the suspension on my RC crawler, let's go outside and test it. Here we go. Alright, the first big obstacle with the 51mm suspension. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. A little bit more wet today as well, which I've seen. But just like that, really simple, straight over it. Look at the flex on that. There's so much more play with this bigger suspension. Insane. And it's not even that much of a difference. I mean, 48 to 51 is not that big of a difference, and so it's kind of interesting to see how much of a difference it makes. Alright, we're up. Probably the hardest part of the obstacle was right there, so we're doing good so far. Now this is where we can't tip. That's the biggest part about this. There we go. Now that's good positioning right now. Oh, we're good. We are so good. These rocks are loose down here, so we gotta be careful about that too. The crawling capabilities of this RC crawler is way different with bigger suspension. I honestly can't believe that we were able to get this far so far with this. I was honestly surprised with how easy it was to get to this position. Oh, just barely saved that. I thought we were going to tip there for a second. Really narrow in there, and then we are out. Very impressive with how much gear it is to crawl through that. All right, now we're going up this pyramid-shaped object. It might be a little slippery from all the rain we've gotten, but it looks like we're going to make it up. It's nice and steady, and we're down. Pretty impressive. Alright, crawling up this little Hell's Gate rendition. Nice and slow. Up those little logs there. Around this bend, get around that rock. And down this big slab of rock right here. Nice and in control, great grip. Really impressive with how well it's doing so far. This RC crawler with the added suspension really does change how it crawls. The first thing being that the tires stay more on the ground. But the problem with that is it becomes a lot more tipsy. So there are multiple pros and cons because of the fact that there is bigger suspension, but based on the testing, it does seem to be improving how well it crawls. So I am very impressed with the outcome, and let's continue testing. Here we go. Climbing up this really steep part of the course here. Nice and slow. Spinning out a little bit, but we're making it. It gets really narrow in here though. Look at how much that suspension is moving out. Crazy. Alright, here we go on the next obstacle. This one's kind of fun. I enjoy this one. Up this little hill here, and down, and over that, and then around the bend here. Careful not to tip. Up those two rocks and right back down. Alright you guys, that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. The Sports Stuff, out.